Hello and welcome to Option 1 Mortgage's home offices in Irvine, California. My name is Frank Pedraza. I'm with the Option 1 Real Estate Services Division. Option 1 is sensitive to the challenges our borrowers encounter and works hard to help them retain their homes. It's always best to avoid foreclosure proceedings whenever possible. However, in those unfortunate circumstances where a foreclosure does take place, we in the Real Estate Division must focus upon our duty to the investors and to the stockholders. Our goal is to liquidate the asset in a timely manner so that we can maximize its value and minimize the cost. We'd like you to learn a little bit about our processes and meet some of the people you'll be working with. There are 3 steps to the process. Number 1, preparing for sale. 2, selling the property. And 3, closing out the sale. Right now, we're going to let the associates involved tell you about what they do.
The first person to get the file when it comes out of foreclosure to the REO department would be myself, the marketing coordinator.
We typically are aware of a property when it comes appeared on our daily BPO appraisal report.
When we get a new acquisition, I notify the asset manager to assign an agent in that area.
They can assign an agent from our current database, or if they have to interview a new agent.
When the asset manager selects an agent for that particular property, I go ahead and fax out the assignment letter to that agent.
Our guidelines are stipulated on the front and back of every sheet, consist of about 6 pages, and all the guidelines that Option 1 set forth are written on there.
When the agent receives the assignment letter, they have 48 hours to get occupancy status stating if the property is vacant or occupied.
Occupancy status is then faxed back to the marketing coordinator in the form of a completed checklist.
If the property is found occupied, it will be transferred to the eviction coordinator to proceed with the eviction.
We have several people that work together in the eviction process. They include the eviction attorney, the agent, various vendors, and Option 1 associates, all who work together. I might learn about a new eviction through my daily eviction report or from the marketing coordinator, or occasionally the agent will email me or give me a phone call. I start an eviction by inputting information into LendStar, which is our eviction tracking device, which notifies the attorney that we need to start an eviction process. Cash for Keys is a program that we have through Option 1 whereby we offer the occupants a little help to vacate the property. We offer them financial means for them to relocate if they leave it in broom-swept condition. When the property is determined to be vacant, the agent will rekey and secure the property, and if conditions warrant, he will winterize the property also. I learned that the property is vacant by our agent, who will call me or email me and give me an assessment of any personal property that remains on the premises. I notify the eviction attorney through our LendStar system, and they in turn close out the eviction process.
The time frame to get the property on the market when it becomes vacant is approximately 15 days.
When the agent goes out there, it's vacant, he'll place the lockbox on the property, tune it to our code, and call me back and say, hey Jimmy, the property's vacant, I have it locked and secured for you, go ahead and order the appraisal.
I go ahead and order the appraisal through AMPS.
With a lockbox combination so that the appraiser has no problem having access for the property.
I order the prelim through the web check system. The agent is completing the broker's price opinion,
which we refer to as a BPO. Normally consists of a listing agreement, inside and outside photos of the property, MLS comparables, that they fax over or send over within 7 days.
The agent is making sure that the property is cleaned up and ready to be on the market.
If there's anything that needs to be done around the home, such as repairs, leaks, something of that sort, we document the system and at the same time make the asset manager aware.
Once I receive the BPO appraisal, I go through, make sure all the information is there and it's correct.
We make sure that everything is documented in the system, place the BPO and appraisal in the marketing folder, and we forward that over to the asset manager.
Once the marketing coordinator has put the file together with the BPO and the appraisal, then it comes to me.
We review the appraisal and the BPO, go over the comparable sales and current listings, analyze all that, and come up with a list price.
If there's a large discrepancy between the BPO and the appraisal, after I've talked to the agent, if we cannot reconcile what the value is, I then will send the file to our corporate appraisal department for a review of the values and get their opinion as to what they think the true value of the property is.
Once a listing price is determined, we will fill out the agent's listing agreement and the option 1 listing addendum. This addendum supersedes any other listing agreement that's in place.
Once the listing agreement and the option 1 addendum are signed, I fax them over to the agent, and I expect the agent to fax it back to me signed and also send me a copy of the MLS printout, which indicates that the property is in fact on their MLS.
At this point, option 1 places a property on our offer management system, which is eBay. eBay allows us to track all offers. It gives us a factual record of all offers, along with providing the same to our agents.
Once that property is uploaded onto eBay, our agents are required to go into eBay and put in the bedrooms, the baths, the square feet, and eBay is also putting pictures on the website, so our agents are asked to please either email, fax, or send pictures to eBay so they can put that onto the website.
If I have a property that's been on the market for more than 60 days, I will prepare an analysis to take it to the Aged Inventory Committee.
We request that the agents send us a monthly status report every month, and then at 60 days, if there's a price reduction that is needed, we ask for a price reduction request and any new updated MLS printouts that would go along with the properties that are included on the price reduction request.
We bring to the meeting the price reduction request for the current BPO from the agent, every monthly status report, and any comments that the agent has made pertaining to the property.
At that meeting, all of the information that we have received from the agent, along with our updated analysis and a new projected listing price, is submitted for approval to the committee.
At this time, I will review it with senior management to determine a price reduction.
Once a price has been adjusted, I will then either email or fax the information to my agent, and if need be, we'll extend the listing date.
We get a revised listing agreement from the agent, a new MLS, and the price reduction is placed on eBay within 24 hours.
Once the price adjustment has been sent to the agent, we do require that they send a new updated MLS printout. Again, we must have that in for our records that the property indeed has been changed on their local MLS.
All offers must be submitted through eBay.
Once the offer is made, we, the asset managers, are notified by email with a link bringing us to the offer on eBay, which we just click on and can negotiate online.
The offer is encountered within 24 to 48 hours, at which time the email goes back to the agent, and it's the agent who must communicate the counteroffer to the buyer or the buyer's agent.
Once an offer is accepted, the agent is asked to please prepare the option 1 counteroffer addendum and have the buyer sign that and get that back to me either by fax or by overnight mail. We will take a faxed copy as long as it is readable and clear. Once I receive the contract, I then will review it, complete my analysis, sign the contract, I fax it back to my agent, and then I complete the file so that I can forward it to my closer.
The closing process starts when the asset manager actually receives the contract, signs it, and forwards it with the file over to the closing department along with analysis. As soon as the file is received into the closing department, the closing assistant then makes sure everything's accurate and then puts everything into our CPI system. That triggers them to create a closing instruction letter to the listing agent, which is then faxed along with the contract. The originals are then overnighted priority to the listing agent. Agents must fax a copy of the contract to the closing office. Once all the information is put in our system and the contract has now gone out, then I coordinate with the closing office to receive the closing docs. Once I receive the closing docs from the closing office, I check to make sure everything's accurate, verify all numbers and figures, and then execute the documents. At that point, then I send it back out to the closing office by priority overnight. Within 48 hours of the closing office will then fax over a HUD to be reviewed. Once I approve the HUD and I fax it back to the closing office and the closing takes place, the proceeds are wired to the Option 1 office. At that point, I process a REO worksheet for liquidation, which is then sent to the cashiering department. On the day of the closing, the agent must fax or email the closing checklist showing any outstanding bills because of the fact that we need to hold back funds from our proceeds for any outstanding bills that might come in. Within 48 hours of sending the REO worksheet to the cashiering department for liquidation, I then close out the file within our system. At that point, we are done and the property is off our books.
You would be interested in our team so that you knew what the requirements are for you to send your reimbursement in and get paid in a timely manner. The assistants receive all the mail for the department. They open the mail and it's categorized or sorted into two areas. One is direct mail to the associates and one is reimbursement requests from the agents. The assistants open, date stamp, and deliver the mail out on the floor. Then they go back, do the reimbursement request. They check to make sure the invoices are attached to the reimbursement request and the proof of payment. When the reimbursement request has been determined to be correct, they send it on to the marketing coordinator for approval and for documentation onto our system. We have various levels of approval. It depends upon the amount of the reimbursement request that they're asking for. If it's just a bill that comes in from mowing the lawn and it comes in every couple weeks, then the assistants can go ahead and approve that invoice. If the dollar amount is larger than what the marketing coordinator can approve, then it goes on to the asset manager. The reimbursement requests from the asset manager come to loans payable. We will have a turnaround time that we try to meet of 30 days. Once indoor, outdoor. We would like to get that down to 15 days. That's our goal.
We'd like to thank you for joining us here at Option 1. We hope to see you again soon. We look forward to working with you. Thanks. Have a great day.